Number 17, Tempo di Polacca, to me is the famous number 17. This is one of the first etudes I ever performed when I was in high school, and there is piano accompaniment for it. It's out there as a standalone solo, and I think that it's international, although it may be Fischer that publishes it, since they also publish the entire series of etudes. Worth playing with an accompanist, because when you get to the middle section, Cantabile, our key switches to C major, but I swear, from playing our solo part, it's really hard to hear that it's in C major. It just sounds like, I don't know, a mode of G, rather than sounding really truly grounded in C. And I suspect if you work with the piano accompaniment, you'll really hear it in C, and you'll hear good harmony supporting you in the piano. So in the beginning, we start right off the bat with a retake, just like we have in a lot of other etudes, and it's really important that you play that low E. Beautiful sound, really get the string before you start so you don't get a... We don't need to use a lot of bow, you just need to recover, but make sure that you don't. So a beautiful note, that note is still part of the melody. That's how I always think about this, so I don't cheat the note, I don't scrape on the note. So here we go. Like I said, changes to C major, as you can see, marked piano, finally, a real dynamic contrast, and dolce, which means sweetly. So really sing through this. I know the tempo isn't necessarily indicated as slower, but cantabile is singing, dolce is sweet, and to me that might indicate just a little relax in the tempo, so that you can really phrase through this. Sometimes they're below the staff, sometimes they're above. It's a little annoying. But really figure out what goes with what. That little retard was just written below the staff, but I think you should do it. I chose are not quite some mandrel fingerings, but I choose the things now that work the best for me. You should really work with your teacher on what things work best for you. For instance, in the main melody, when it's in E minor, like in the first couple of measures here, I'm going to do this actually at the tempo 1 towards the end. I do 4, 4. It's clunky and large, but I know that I'm going to be really squarely rooted in first position when I come back for that beat. You could cross. For me, not so strong. I think my fourth finger is just not that strong. I also like the sound of the B and the G string. I think thinking melodically at this point, especially because this is a solo you could be playing in public, really think about what is the tone color I want to present here. And for me, it's hiking it back to first position on my fourth finger on the G string. That's just the way I like that, even though I've really raised the difficulty level a lot there. Work with your teacher on what's best for you. Maybe it's here, maybe it's a finger substitution, or you come back and do first finger on the B. There's always plenty of choices with Simandl. Where it's written, though, that I would really suggest you take his advice is at the end of the cantabile, the first line of that cantabile, he has harmonic closed. This is where I wish I could play this a lot slower so you could hear something like that, where you hear the contrast between harmonic here, closed over here. Either way, with or without the retard, show that beautiful tone color change when you go from the sort of ghosted sound of the harmonic to the closed sound here. And of course, vibrato through that whole cantabile section has to be really lyrical and really connected.